So shalom, my friends. So in this video, we'll be reading about the destruction of this nation that is to come, and the destruction and all the hell that Yah is getting ready to release on the world. Okay. So we're going to start in Isaiah chapter 13, verse 1. And I'm warning you, it's very graphic, and it is not by any means good. Because remember, we learned in that last video, Yahusha said, don't think I come with peace on the earth. He says, I come with a sword. That was Matthew chapter 10, verse 32. Okay. So, and remember, and also in Isaiah chapter 45, verse 5 through 7, Yah says, I made the light and I made the darkness. I create peace and I do evil. So, in this judgment here, we'll be very much seeing the evil that Yah will be wreaking on the sinners and on the people who are not keeping his commandments. Okay. And remember how I talked about how giants are coming back, and the burden in this here, we're going to be talking about that. So Isaiah chapter 13 is titled The Burden of Babylon, because the United States is modern day Babylon, spiritual Egypt. All right. It says, so Yah says here, lift up the standard on the mountain of the plain, exalt the voice of them, beckon with the hand, open the gates, ye rulers, I give command. So I'm going to stop there. And also, by the way, I'm reading from my Septuagint version of the Bible, because the Septuagint version of the Bible is more clear cut. Because remember, this is also the Septuagint. The Septuagint version is Greek translation as well. So remember, I talked about in Greece, they don't teach mythology as a myth. They teach it as real deal history. So this version here is going to be more clear cut to what I'm and going to be more clear cut to getting the message across. It's going to be more clear cut, better than the King James version. So I'm going to be reading out of my Septuagint version of the Bible. It says, lift up the standard on the mountain of the plain, exalt the voice to them, beckon with the hand, open the gates, ye rulers. So when he says there, open the gates, ye rulers, he's talking about how our military and our government, global elite, they're very much into opening up stargates and trying to access wormholes and portals to different dimensions, thinking they're going to get in contact with some extraterrestrial life forms. But on the other side of those dimensions, Yah lets us know that's where demons are, and where these demonic entities, giants, and all this stuff, they're trying to mess with antimatter, trying to find the God particle, the very second of creation. And the technology that they're using is called CERN, which is their technology that they're using to try to open up these different dimensions and wormholes. Is called CERN, and it's in Switzerland. You can look this up. CERN is a particle collider, and they're trying to find the God particle, which they're not going to find. It's just going to open up to different dimensions. And literally, the purpose of CERN is they're trying to find the moment of creation. They're trying to open portals and dimensions to talk to extraterrestrials and try to make contact with supposed aliens out in space and stuff, which is nonsense. And this all sounds like a scientific movie, but it is very real. If you learn about what CERN is doing, which is in Switzerland, CERN, Switzerland, they very much doing this thing and trying to open up stargates, portals, and all this stuff. And stargates and portals, I want to stop and talk about that for a little second. Stargates and portals are very real. How the fallen angels, they descended on the Mount Hermon. They descended in the days of Yared on Mount Hermon. And notice how they're always coming down on the mountain. Moses spoke to Yah 40 days and 40 nights. When Ezekiel saw the cherubim angels, they came through a whirlwind, well, which is a portal. Moses was talking to Yah and the angels on the mountain, which is a portal. The fallen angels, they descended on Mount Hermon. They came through a stargate. Yahusha will be descending. His feet will be on the Mount of Olives, which he's coming through a stargate. Jacob's ladder. Jacob's ladder, how he sees angels descending and descending. That ladder, it's not a literal ladder. I hate how they use that word in the Bible because that word has made confusion. And that's what ancient alien theorists love to use Jacob's ladder as a way to say that, oh, there it is. There's some sign of extraterrestrial proof that, oh, people didn't know what they were seeing and hearing back in the days of old. They knew exactly what they were seeing and hearing, and they depicted it very well. No one back then was confused about anything. Okay. So Yaakov, what is a ladder, by the way? A ladder is an object that is used to get you from a lower place to a higher place. So that is what Jacob's ladder was, or Jacob's ladder. Jacob's ladder. That's the real name. That's what Jacob's ladder was. It was a portal that got him from a lower dimension to a higher dimension. It wasn't a literal ladder. He didn't literally have a ladder and climbed up a ladder, and the ladder was so tall he reached into the heavens. It wasn't that. It was a portal, a stargate that he went through that allowed him to see angels descending and descending. He went through a portal, a stargate. So there's tons of proof of stargates throughout the Bible. They're just called gates. They're called gates throughout the Bible, or whirlwind, stuff like that, or in that case, a ladder. All right. So that's what Yah is meaning when he says, "Open up the gates, ye rulers." So when he's talking about ye rulers, he's talking about our global elite. He's talking about our presidents and all those people, how they're in the scientists and how they're very much into trying to open up stargates and dimensions. So that's what he means. So I'll read that again. It says, "Open the gates, ye rulers, with the hand." Oh, so open up the gates, ye rulers. I give command. So Yah's saying, he's saying, you asking for it, I'm going to give it to you. But you're not going to like what's going to come through that portal. He says, I give command. I bring them giants. So right there, Yah says it right there. I bring them giants. That's who's going to be coming through these stargates, these portals. Giants. He says, I bring them giants are coming to fulfill my wrath. So when we start seeing these giants coming, that is Yah letting it happen. He's saying, you over here trying to work and do all this and open up stargates and portals when I close them off on purpose. He says, that's what he's talking about. He says, I bring them giants. He said, whatever. He said, you ask for it, so you gonna get it. He said, you ask and you shall receive. He says, that's why he says, open the gates, ye rulers. I give command. He said, all right, finally. He said, whatever, I'm going to do it. I give command. I bring them. Giants are coming to fulfill my wrath, rejoicing at the same time and insulting. So Yah said, when these giants come back on the earth, he said they're going to be having a good old time, rejoicing, all happy, and insulting at the same time, meaning having their pleasure killing and eating people. So Yah was already letting you know that the first things we're going to be seeing is some giants, which is going to be very interesting and it's going to be very crazy times. And he even has it here how we're going to be reacting to it. So we're going to keep going on. He says, I bring them giants are coming to fulfill my wrath, rejoicing at the same time and insulting. A voice of many nations on the mountains, even like that of many nations. A voice of kings and nations gathered together. Yah of hosts has given command to a warlike nation to come from a land afar off, from the outermost foundations of heaven. Yah and his warriors are coming to destroy all the world. Are you hearing that? Yah and his warriors are coming to destroy all the world. That's why he says, I'm using these giants. I'm using my angels and all demons, and I'm unleashing hell on the earth right now when this day comes. And when he says a nation from the outermost parts of the earth, he's talking about Antarctica. You ever know there's a whole big mystery around Antarctica? How in 1947, Admiral Richard E. Byrd, and he led our entire naval fleet to Antarctica in 1947. Admiral Richard E. Byrd. And then how Hitler was very much obsessed with Antarctica, going down there, and he talked about how he had alien help, which is demon Nephilim help, and even how Buzz Aldrin, before he died, took a trip to Antarctica. How our global elite have been going to Antarctica. They even posted on Snapchat a while ago, a few weeks ago or a month ago, how they found a pyramid in Antarctica. So this is that far off country at the outermost edges of the world that Yah is talking about, Antarctica. So Antarctica is going to play a very big part in the end times, which we are in. So let's continue on. He says, "How ye, for the day of Yah is near, and destruction from Elohim shall arrive. Therefore every hand shall become powerless, and every soul of man shall be dismayed. The elders shall be troubled." Talking about our old men, old women. "The elders shall be troubled, and pain shall seize them as a woman in travail," meaning pain shall seize them like a pregnant woman. "And they shall mourn one to another, and they shall be amazed." You know, the whole world is going to be very amazed when you start seeing giants pop up on the earth, because this Bible prophecy right here. He says, "Open the gates, ye rulers. I give command. I bring them giants." It don't get more clear cut than that. But in the regular King James version, it says mighty ones. But we already learned from Genesis 6 who these mighty ones were, the giants. Remember, the same became the mighty men of old, men of renown. So the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholics, and they tried to be a little deceptive and take away the clear cut message that Yah had in there when he's talking about giants coming back. So let's go, and so I'll read that again. "How ye, for the day of Yah is near, and destruction from Elohim shall arrive." He says, "Therefore every hand shall become powerless, and every soul of man shall be dismayed. The elders shall be troubled, and pain shall seize them as a woman in travail. And they shall mourn one to another, and they shall be amazed." We all going to be amazed when we see these things. And of course, because it's all been written off into the realm of fiction. But it's going to be a different story when you have a giant as tall as the cedar trees of Lebanon in front of you. And the cedar trees of Lebanon start at 35 and go all the way to 150 feet. So these giants that were building the pyramids, all the megalithic structures, these dudes were massive. And these were the same ones that I was talking about in my videos. But I was talking about in my videos when I talk about Moses and the land of the giants and how he fought, and how the Israelites having to fight off all these giants. So these are the same giants that are going to be coming back to play in the end times. And he says, "They shall be amazed, and they shall change their countenance as a flame. For behold, the day of Yah is coming, which cannot be escaped." So Yah is letting you know this thing is going to happen. He said it cannot be escaped. Remember, in Matthew chapter 10, verse 32 and 33, verse 33, verse 32, 33, and 34, Yahushua says, "Don't think I come with peace for the earth." He says, I come not for peace, but I come with the sword." And so this is that being fulfilled right here. Yah says, I make peace and I create evil. He's getting ready to release the evil. And he says, "For behold, the day of Yah is coming, which cannot be escaped, a day of wrath, a day of anger, to make the whole world desolate. So Yah is just really driving it in that his day, when this thing comes, it's going to be all type of turmoil. Hell is breaking loose. Everyone will be running to and fro. Everyone will be scared. They're going to be fear will be people will be dying from the fear. People will be having literal heart attacks from fear of what they're seeing. That's how bad it's going to be, and worse. So Yah is making it very clear. He says, the day of Yah is coming, which cannot be escaped, a day of wrath and anger, to make the whole world desolate, and to destroy sinners out of it. So everyone will be seeing giants. It don't matter what part of the world you want. Everyone's going to be feeling this turmoil that's coming. These giants are going to be all over the world again, destroying everyone. He's saying all these things are going to be happening. And he says, for the stars of heaven and Orion and all the host of heaven shall not give their light, and it shall be dark at sunrise, and the moon shall not give her light. And I will command evils for the whole world. Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? He says, the stars of heaven shall not give their light. The moon shall not give her light. I am commanding evils for the whole world. Man, what more proof do you need that you need to turn back to Yah? That you need to start abiding in the word of Yah? What more proof do you need? He's saying, I'm bringing back giants on this earth. He's saying it's going to be a day of destruction to destroy the sinners out of the whole world. If you are engulfed in sin, you need to get out of it. If you're practicing homosexuality, if you're practicing fornication, if you're practicing plastic surgery, all this stuff, if you're messing with hormones, if you're doing all of these things, Yah is coming for you. If you're a murderer, if you're out there killing, stealing, lying, cheating, committing adultery, these are the sins and more. Of course, that is what Yah is coming for. He's coming to wipe the sinners out of this world. We need to get it right with Yah. We need to get it right with Yah, because Yah is not playing. Are you hearing that Yah is not playing? Okay? Yah is not playing games with no one. He says, I am coming to destroy the sinners out of this world. Okay? I read that again. He says, for the stars of heaven and Orion and all the hosts of heaven shall not give their light, and it shall be dark as sunrise, and the moon shall not give her light. And I will command evils for the whole world. So you hearing that? Yah is saying we're going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever, and it's just going to be nighttime. It's going to be pitch black. When he said it's going to be very obvious, he's letting you know it's going to be very obvious that it is the day of Yah. He says it's going to be very obvious. He's letting you know you won't have to wonder. It'll be very obvious. If you're watching this video right now and you're hearing this word and you're really digesting what Yah is trying to say, it is going to be very obvious. You're understanding that it will be very obvious that the day of judgment is here. You won't be confused about what's going on. And let's continue on. And I will command evils for the whole world, and will visit their sins on the ungodly. Are you hearing that? So he's coming for everyone. He said, I will visit you. He said, I'm gonna visit those sins. He's gonna visit those sinners. Meaning that if you're sinning, he's saying that destruction will directly be coming for you. That's what he means when he says, I command evils for the whole world. He says, I will visit your sins. He said, I'm coming for you specifically. So everyone's sinning, Yah will personally be coming for you. You won't be able to escape it. He says, and I will command evils for the whole world, and will visit their sins on the ungodly, and I will destroy the pride of transgressors. So there's a whole lot of people that very much take pride in having sex with multiple women, girls having sex with multiple guys, girls getting drunk, guys getting drunk, doing drugs, out here robbing and stealing, killing people, doing all these sins, running after money instead of trying to instead of trying to get closer to Yah, running after mean green dollar bill, okay, and giving yourself and women giving themselves over to men just because they have the most money instead of looking for a guy who has great qualities in himself and who's actually a man of Yah. And the same thing for men just going after the best looking girl because she has a fat ass, because she has big tits, because she looks good, because you feel like she can give you that satisfaction for a little bit, yet you're not trying to get to know her, yet you're not trying to put a ring on her, you just want to skip from woman to woman, whoremongering on both ends, on men's side and women's side. Okay, that's that stuff he's talking about. He's coming for all those sins. He's making it very clear. He says, "I will destroy the pride of the transgressors." Because the reason why I said that is because people do those sins and they don't say, "Well, I don't care." They literally say that. People today say, "I don't care." So Yah says, "I will destroy the pride of transgressors, and will bring low the pride of the haughty, the pride of the haughty," meaning meaning he will destroy all that pride. He will make you feel, you're going to be feeling such fear that it will be unfathomable. Okay, coming to destroy it. And he says, and Yah's going to very much be delighted in it too. "And they that are left shall be more precious than gold tried in the fire. And they that are left shall be more precious than gold tried into the fire." Are you hearing that? So Yah saying he's going to be doing so much killing that there's only going to be a small remnant of people. He's saying that because you already know there's a whole lot of people doing these sins, and a lot of people think, well, Yah's not going to kill everyone. Oh, but Yah is making it very clear. He's saying they that are left will be more precious than fine gold tried in the fire. And what makes gold so valuable? Because you can't just go outside your door and pick it up off the floor. It's not like sand. It's not like your common rock. You can't just come across gold. You have to actually go out and try to find gold. It's only in certain places where you can go and get gold. So Yah is saying, he's saying that he said they that are left will be more precious than gold, meaning that there won't be a whole lot of human beings left. There won't be a whole lot of people left. So you better get on this train because Yah is making it very clear he's coming to kill a lot of people, a lot of people for their sins. That's why he says, and I'll read that again. And they that are left shall be more precious than gold tried in a fire. And it gets a little bit more clear in this next verse. And a man shall be more precious, and a man shall be more precious than the stone that is in sulfur. So he's saying you're going to be more precious than the most valuable stones because there's going to be so little people left. Because there's a whole lot of sinners. There's a whole lot of people going after money, not caring about Yah, not caring about trying to be a holy, righteous person. There's a whole lot of fornicators. There's a whole lot of people practicing this, practicing homosexuality, practicing getting a sex change, practicing steroids, genetically altering your body. There's a whole lot of people doing all these sins, these great sins, and Yah's coming for all those people doing these sins. And people and how there's so much killing going on in today's time and all this stuff. He's coming for all those sins. And they that are left shall be more precious than gold tried in the fire, and a man shall be more precious than the stone that is in sulfur. For for the heavens shall be enraged, and the earth shall be shaken from her foundations. Are you hearing that? Yah's going to be shaking the earth. The powers of heaven and the earth shall be shaking and quaking on this day, literally. And the earth shall be shaken from her foundations because of the fierce anger of Yah of hosts. Are you hearing that? The earth will be shaking from the fierce anger of Yah. In the day in which his wrath shall come, and they that are left shall be as a fleeing fawn, and as a stray sheep, and there shall be none to gather to begather them, so that a man shall turn back to his own people, and a man shall flee to his own land. Are you hearing that? And he says, for whoever shall be taken shall be overcome, and they that are gathered together shall fall by the sword. So he's saying, if you caught up, if you in this land, and if you mix in, and if you're with the wrong people, you're gonna go down with them, and you're gonna get destroyed. Like the same thing would happen if, for example, if say you're in the car with one of your friends and they go out and rob a bank and you get caught by the police, even though you didn't do anything, the policeman is still gonna lump you in the same boat and you're gonna go to jail with them. He's saying that's what y'all is saying. He's saying if you with these sinners and if you with these people doing this unrighteousness, you will fall with them. Just like if you're in the getaway car and you didn't do anything, you will fall with that person in the getaway car. Same thing. And he said, they shall fall by the sword. Remember in Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, Yahushua says, I come not with peace, but I come with the sword. Then right here, Yah is saying, they shall fall by the sword, and they shall dash their children. Are you hearing this? This is that stuff I was talking about that's very graphic. And they shall dash their children before their eyes. So all these sinners will be seeing their children die before them. Remember I talked about how the sins of the father go into the children? So that means if you're sinning, your children will also pay the price. Remember in those videos I did about the fallen angels, how the fallen angels had to watch their children be killed off? Same thing is going to happen. And they shall dash their children before their eyes. Listen to that. Yah is not playing. You don't know about Yah. You don't know how he will bring judgment on everyone so hard. You don't know. And they shall dash their children before their eyes, and they shall spoil their houses, and they shall take their wives. Behold, I stir up against you the Medes. And the Medes, if you looked up who the Medes are the Irani people. The Medes are the modern day Iran people. And they already a little stirred up. That's what we seeing going on right over there in Jerusalem with the Muslims and the Arabs and all that stuff. So he said, I'm going to stir up the Medes against you, talking about this nation and all that. So the United States, don't think we ain't falling, because we're gonna fall last, but we're gonna fall harder than anyone. So you already know the Iran people and those terrorists, they have some very crazy beliefs, and he said, I'm gonna stir them up against you. And that's what he means when he says, and they shall dash their children before their eyes, and they shall spoil their houses, and take their wives, meaning raping and pillaging your wives. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against you, who do not regard silver, neither have need of gold, meaning that they won't care about you trying to give them money and that stuff. They just want to take you out. They just want to take you out and make sure you die. They shall break the bows of the young men, and they shall have no mercy on your children. Are you hearing the destruction? Are you hearing how Yah is not playing? He says, I do evil and I do good. He don't take those words lightly, because Yah is not playing. The sins of the father go to the children as well. And he said, and they shall have no mercy on your children, nor shall their eyes spare thy children. And Babylon, which is called the glorious by the king of Chaldeans, shall be as when Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited. Or he said, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall any enter it for many generations. And we already know the United States people love, and we are right now. We technically are the best nation, because we're the nation right now that's not going through all this crazy stuff. So Yah is saying, he said, Babylon, which is called the glories of the kingdom of the Chaldeans. He said, it shall be when Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And why do you think Yah says Sodom and Gomorrah when he overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah? Because one, He overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah by hellfire and all that, and he rained fire on the land. So that we'll be seeing that again. And also we have this big LGBT movement going on. And Sodom and Gomorrah was famous for homosexuality, and they were famous for cross dressing and all that stuff. And we're seeing this whole big LGB, these LGB, whatever what it's called, the big movement, the LGBT movement. So he's saying that's why he said it shall be when Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, because we see how homosexuality is very much taking the forefront, and this whole gender neutral thing, cutting the line between man and what is a man and what is a female. Yah don't like that. He really don't like that, because you have to remember, Yah is long suffering, meaning he gives you time to repent. But if you never repent, he's going to come back for that nation. He's going to bring down destruction. One of the things that Yah judges a nation for is sexual perversion and killings and the shed of blood. And the United States is definitely exploiting the sexual perversion part, and then definitely doing the whole killing things with all of our military, our strong military force, all the riots that are going on right now, the whole women's movement that's going on right now. He's not playing. Yah is not playing. We need to turn back from our sins. But I already know, and Yah already knows, no one's going to be turning back from their sins. So that's why it's already written. So that's why all these things are going to happen already. Because even if you are watching this video, you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to do anything. So Yah already knows you're not going to turn back from your sin. Okay? So that's why this history is already pre-written. So that's why he says, it shall be when Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and it shall never be inhabited, neither shall any enter into it for many generations. So Yah is letting you know, once this nation gets destroyed, no one's inhabiting it again. It says, neither shall the Arabians pass through it, nor the shepherds at all rest in it, but wild beasts shall rest there, and the houses shall be filled with howling. And listen to this, and monsters shall rest there. Are you hearing that? This is when Yah talks about in Revelation how the bottomless pit is opened up. He says, and monsters shall rest there, and devils shall dance there, and satyrs shall dwell there. Are you hearing this? So this is all the bottomless pit coming back up. So apparently y'all don't think satyrs is a mythological creature. He has it in his Bible. He says they are coming back. He's saying these demons will be dwelling, and all these so-called mythological creatures. He's saying these demons shall be dwelling in this fallen land, and these demons and monsters are going to be wreaking havoc. This is the bottomless pit opening up in Revelation that Yah talks about. I'll read that again. And monsters shall dwell there, and devils shall dance there, and satyrs shall dwell there, and the hedgehog shall make their nest in their houses, and it will come soon and will not tarry. So that is the end of the burden of Babylon. So I'm sure you're seeing that Yah is not playing games. So Yah's not playing. So please turn back to Yah. Start keeping these commandments. He's saying these Medes will not spare your children. They won't care about the old, the young. Their bowls will separate them, will cut them down, and all this stuff. He's saying he's not going to spare them at all. Okay? He's saying he's not going to spare them at all. Because the sins of the father go to the children. He's not playing games. He said, open up the gates, ye rulers. I give command. I bring thee giants and all type of monsters, devils, satyrs, mythological creatures that are not mythological creatures. Just creatures that were once on the earth that were never meant to be here. But Yah saving it all for the day of judgment. Please, people, be smart. Yah's not playing games. He says, I will make man more precious than fine gold. He's saying that's how much killing will be done. He says, I will make man more precious than fine gold. He says, I will not spare your children. He's not playing games. Yah is not playing games. For the day of Yah is filled with wrath and destruction to destroy sinners out of it. So everything that we all know that is in this Bible, that Yah says that you need to keep these commandments, he's coming to destroy the people who are not keeping these commandments. We have to be smart and be wise. Please, people, turn back to Yah, because Yah is not playing. I don't know what else I could tell anyone that would make it more clear cut. I don't know anything I could tell you. Yah is not playing games. Yah is not playing games with his commandments. Please turn back. Please seek Yah. That should be enough in itself to make you pray. And that should be enough in itself to make you really think about how you're living your life. Yah is not playing games. Get away from all these sins, okay? Get away from all of them. Repent. Because if you do not repent, when all these things start to happen, it'll be too late. Remember in Amos chapter 8, verse 11, he says, I will send a famine on the land, not of food, not of lack of drink, but a famine of hearing the word. People will go to and fro. They will search from the east to the west, but they will not be able to find it because you're waiting too long. Turn back to Yah. Learn the truth. I hope this burden of Babylon is enough to make you think long and hard about what will be happening. Okay? And he says the whole earth, everyone around the world will be seeing this, and everyone will be facing this destruction, and will be facing the sins. And he says, I will visit your sins. He says he's going to be coming for you specifically if you commit these sins. We all know what sins we do, okay? And we joke about it and all this stuff. But it's not a game. Yah says, and for every idle word will give account for you in the day of judgment, either for righteousness or your destruction. So what you say, what comes out of your mouth very much does matter. It's not a game. There is an Elohim up in heaven watching everything that's going on in the world. He's not playing games with no one. Hallelujah. And I pray that we all come to this truth, and I pray that everyone watching this video takes this seriously, and I pray this video gets to people who don't have the truth and knowledge, and I honestly pray that we become wiser and smarter and as a whole people, because we're going to need it. We're going to need that full armor of Yah, which is in Ephesians chapter 6, the full armor of Yah. We're going to have to put ourselves on it. We're going to have to put it on. And actually, I'm going to read that to you. Give me a second. All right, so in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10, I'm going to read this to you, and please pay close attention because you're going to need this full armor. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in Yah and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Elohim, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So Yah's already letting you know that it is Satan and his angels ruling everything. Okay? It is Satan and his angels ruling everything right now. Because you know how Satan and his angels think they can do better than Yah and create their own world? Well, Yah is a just God, a just Elohim, so he's letting them do their thing right now. But that's why the Messiah has come already. So Satan and his angels already lost the battle. So that's what Yah means when he says that, so you be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Because it's Satan and his angels ruling this thing and creating all this havoc, which Yah allowed to happen. Because remember, Satan don't do nothing Yah don't allow to happen. And so he said, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the powers of rulers in darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Spiritual wickedness. You think that stuff not real, but it's real. Wherefore take up you the whole armor of Elohim, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. So Yah's saying weapons, money, all that stuff is not going to be able to save you. He says the full armor of Yah, which is a spiritual thing. Whoever thought that? That the spiritual power is what you need and what we all need. That's why I said take up the full armor of Yah. And it's not that hard, too. When you hear what the armor is, it's not that hard. You just got to latch on to it. It's not that hard at all. He says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Elohim, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, and this is where it starts, the armor. Stand therefore, having your loins girt with truth. So first thing y'all said is get the truth. Get rid of the lying doctrines of the devil. Seek the truth, because only that will be able to save you. Only the truth will be able to save you. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, meaning being a righteous person, keeping the commandments, following in Yah's footsteps, following the Yahushua HaMashiach's footsteps. Okay, having that breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the word of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, and wherefore, meaning having strong faith and believing in Yah, and knowing that He will protect you if you're keeping His commandments, and watching and praying every day, and watching and praying every night, having a very strong shield of faith, a very strong shield of faith. That's why He says above all, taking the shield of faith. Okay, remember it was the faith that when Yahusha. Oh, sorry. When in the story of Yahusha, when the lady, there was a lady who said if I could just touch the fringes of Yahusha, I would be healed of my sickness, and it was her faith in Yahusha that healed her. It was her faith in Yahusha, and that's why Yahusha always went out and he said, if you believe in me, he says, I will cure you of your leprosy. And the man, he believed in Yahusha, and his leprosy was cured. And how Yahusha healed the blind all through their faith, and how Yahusha cast out all these demons from people's body through their faith. He said that's why he says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. That's how strong that shield of faith is. You can get through anything. Nothing can cut you down when you have your strong shield of faith. And take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Ruah, and watching, which is the word, which is Yah's word, very important, which is Yah's word, the Ruach HaKodesh, taking up the sword, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, which is the word of Yah, and watching thereunto with all preservation, with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, and for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly, meaning you can't be afraid to speak the word of Yah. You cannot be afraid. It don't matter if you have to lose friends in this. It don't matter if you have to cut off some family members. Yah says in His word that if you love me, I will love you more than your own mother does. Are you hearing that? Yah says, I will love you more than your own mother does. Now, that's powerful. He said, if you believe in me and you keep my commandments and keep that shield of faith strong, I will love you more than your own mother does. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the word. Are you hearing that? He says, speak boldly with the word. Yah says, speak boldly when you're speaking about Yah. And notice that he talks about a shield of faith. I notice that he's talking about a shield of faith, that he's talking about a sword, that he's talking about a helmet. It's obviously words of war. He's saying, prepare yourself. He's saying, prepare yourself. That these are war words. Notice that he's saying these all sound like war words. A sword, the sword which is his word, a helmet of deliverance, breastplate of righteousness, shield of faith. Obviously, he's preparing you for something that's coming. Yahusha says that his name is a strong tower that the righteousness run into for deliverance and for protection. A strong tower. Are you hearing all these words of war? If you understand the words of Yah, it's very clear that there is something coming, that there is a spiritual battle, that there is this spiritual wickedness going on. Okay? So please put on this full armor of Yah. I have read it to you in Ephesians chapter 6, starting at verse 10, all the way up into verse 19. Please prepare yourself, people. Please prepare yourself, because Yah's not playing with all that destruction that he's saying is coming. And that was Isaiah 13, by the way. Yah is not playing games. Hallelujah. And thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Shalom.